Ho, 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 ho. All praise due to the Fahrenheit Schlag. It is the schlangs that brings us here together. All praise due to the Fahrenheit Schlag. It is the schlangs that brings us purpose. Fahrenheit, 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 Fahrenheit. 6 o'clock must be that time, yo. Welcome to the Fahrenheit. I'm your host, First Degree The D.E. Okay, let me get the screen right. It's supposed to be all dark. The screen right is supposed to be all dark. Now, enough. 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 I spent too much time today deleting comments from randoms, observation ostriches, talking about my list. Not my list, my comments on Dr. Dre last show. You seeing so much white in the screen. Okay, about my comments on Dr. Dre last show. Randomsville, USA must be the spot where all the rap knowledge comes from, and we're all supposed to bow and obey. Observation Town must be the spot where all the rap knowledge comes, and we're all supposed to bow and obey. 35 years in the game, we throw that out the window. 5 years in choir, we throw that out the window. 7 years playing the clarinet, we throw that out the window for the DE. 2 years marching band where you had to memorize the song and your steps at the same time, throw that out the window for the DE. 30 years of using different drum sequencers and sounds and all kind of since the beginning. Throw that out for the DE, but random, Captain Consumer has all the information for the DE, and I'm supposed to bow and obey. I gotta address my Dr. Dre comments today. Okay? Gotta address my comments on Dr. Dre today. All right, most people is understanding, but there was too many of comments, and the common theme was that I was jealous. So that's gonna get addressed. Okay, me being jealous of Dr. Dre is gonna get addressed. Holler at me in the chat. What's going on in the chat? Wolfpack, be humble, Twisted Insane. I already started that intro. Twisted Insane, I already started that intro. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be out there. It's gonna be out there. I'm gonna put a picture of your visual with the baby right there when I record. Mr. Brooks. All right, now. We also gonna talk. It was a little story time. I'm gonna tell you about the first time me and Lynch met E40. Earl jacking for slacks. Okay. First time meeting E40. Then what else are we gonna talk about? Oh, I really liked it how we ended the show yesterday. We got so of real. I really liked it how we ended the show yesterday. Talking about Underbelly Sound Wars, the American story. Okay, you learn from the Asians, you learn from the Mexicans, you learn from the blacks, you learn from the whites, you learn from the Indians from India, you learn from the Native America, and come together, you'd have a super force. Okay, and that's what the Black Index is. Underbelly Sound Wars, a multicultural super force. Okay? And for Americans to be fighting on what makes them a super force, what make the differences, is ludicrous. So I want to take that to the next level, flip it on its back, and talk a little bit of they. Yeah, I made a comment on the Holden Court podcast about they. Looking forward to that. Before we get started, okay? Before we get started, where is it? Bring it to me. It's about that time. Let me find it. It's somewhere in here, but I gotta find it. Is it here? No, that's not it. Nope. It's a message from the Schlangs. Where is my, okay. I had to go over it. Okay. All right, but this is what it said. Let me see if I can find it from the Schlangs. But I can paraphrase. But I don't know if the Schlangs, oh mighty of, nope, that wasn't it. I don't know if the mighty of Schlangs wants me to paraphrase. Okay, I found it. A message from the Schlangs. May the Schlangs serve us as a magnet, attracting positive energy. May the Schlangs calm our souls, telling us all is well. May the Schlangs give us what we deserve, which is all. May the Schlangs give us positive energy that puts us in the most happiest of place. May the Schlangs allow us to ride the frequency. May the Schlangs allow us to ride the frequency. May the Schlangs allow miracles to be easy for us. May the Schlangs make our power limitless. Thank you, Almighty of Schlangs. Thank you, Almighty, mighty of Schlangs. May the Schlangs be with us all. May the Schlangs be with us all. Now, dear Captain Consumer. Okay, dear Captain Consumer. I had a comment about Dr. Dre. It was organic. Okay, usually the show's on the up and up. It was organic. Okay, it came from the people about Dr. Dre. And all I did was this. All I said did was, oh, that was too long. Okay. All I said did was this. Every song that Dr. Dre made is a copy. Okay, that's all I said there. Now, they said I was jealous. Now, let me tell you something. And this is fact. And let me tell you something. This is fact. I need to be a little more orange. Why am I not more orange? Too bright. Making me edgy. Too bright. I need orange. Anywho. Well, let's be more orange. Anywho, dear Captain Consumer, when I was young, now this is where I want to reference my man BG. In the history of Sacramento rap documentary, Bounty G-Rilla, give me a holler in the chat for BG. Said back in the day, it was music coming from the church, live, then live in the Udia, AKA the studio. Now, back for us purists who was against sampling the whole time, I'm gonna say that again. A lot of people grooving on sampling. Some of us purists have been against sampling the whole time. Okay? Every time a new Dre hit would come out, the first thought on my mind was, who did he copy? I'm gonna say it again. For those in the back. all coming up, even NWA, the Chronic, all that stuff, the Eminem, all that. The first thing I think of is who did he copy? Those of us who are purists got a problem with copying. Can you imagine if you were Scott Storch and you made up dum 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 dum, and then everyone's calling Dre a genius for it? I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that because I'm a purist in this game. Hey, you see the energy and how much effort I put towards this game? It's because it's so real. The culture is, there's not, around the world, they watch the urban American West Coast culture. This is so important. Where is all that white coming from? Man. So I asked the Schlangs. I said, "Oh, mighty of Schlangs, with the knowledge of 1,000,000 books, the reach of the worldwide interweb, the perspective of the mighty, mighty Schlangs and the sons of Fahrenheit." I said, "Give me a list of 20 Dr. Dre songs and who he copied." I'm going to say it again. AI, clip this because this is important. I asked the Schlangs, give me 20 Dr. Dre songs and tell me who he copied. People don't understand knowledge. YouTube Yodas, you don't have to not know anymore. You don't have to sound stupid anymore. You can ask the Schlangs and you can sound like the most knowledgeable of knowledge. You don't have to be dumb anymore. The technology is out there, and that's what I'm trying to tell these captain consumers. All I had to do for proof before the randoms opened their mouth was ask the Schlangs, give me 20 Dr. Dre songs and who they copied. Period. Information will soon be like water. People don't understand that yet. Information is water. That's gonna look cool. Now, here was the Schlang's response. Here was the Schlang's response. Clip this is important. I asked the Schlangs, give me 20 Dr. Dre songs and who he copied. Here was the Schlang's response. Usually I keep this show on the up and up. It's just the randomites, captain consumers got me edgy. And I don't respond to them. I delete their comments, but thanks to you, and I appreciate it, you allow me to vent about the Wikipedia warriors, which I cannot give attention to. Now, nothing but a G thing, baby. Two loped out fools going crazy. Dre's a genius. Wrong. Check out I Want to Do Something Freaky to You by Leon Haywood. California love. Dead too far, Calif. I do like that they said Sacramento. California is down the party. California is down the party. In the city of Sacktown. In the city of Sacktown. In the city of Sacktown. Deep it rockin'. Dan Dre is a genius for that. Wrong. Check out Woman to Woman by Joe Crocker. What are we talking about? How can I be jealous when your whole aura, your whole reputation is copying people? When you bump a DE record, the last thing on earth I want you to think is, who did DE copy? I'm going to say that again. AI, clip this because this is important. The last thing on earth when you bump a DE record that I want you to think is, who did the DE copy? I never want those words ever spoken in the history of spoken. I think, me saying this at this very moment, who did the DE copy, is actually the first time on earth that sentence, that question, that inquiry has ever been spoken out of a human mouth. I'm going to say that again. Me saying right now at this moment, who did DE copy, is probably the first time on earth any humanoid has ever spoken those words in the history of spoken language. That's what I care about. I am a purist in this game. Google Sacramento Rap News. What do you see? First Degree The D.E staring back at thee. I'm not saying Google First Degree The D.E. I am a purist in this game. Then Captain Consumer leaves a comment from his Consumerville perspective saying, I'm jealous of Dre. I do not want you to think I copied anyone ever. The last thing on earth I would ever do is copy a human on my record. Moving on. We mentioned DRE, Start Scorch. I mentioned that. Let Me Ride. I mentioned that last show. That's all parlor. The worst thing about the Chronic album, the worst thing about the Chronic, AI, clip this. This is important. The worst thing about the Chronic album is not only was it Funkadelic's music remade. Okay, we got that. That's people. Okay. I mean, okay, you remake a bass line. Okay, you hear a chord. You hear a chord, and you're like, okay, I could do something with that chord. You hear some strings. You hear some strings, and you're like, okay, maybe some strings I could. Not the whole song. It makes me want to throw up. When I hear the Chronic, it makes me want to throw up, and this is why. Not only does he copy the spirit of Funkadelic, but Above the Law was the first ones to do it. Dre wasn't even the first one to sample and remake Funkadelic. So it's a copy. AI, clip this. This is important. AI, clip this is important. The Chronic is a copy of a copy. I repeat, the Chronic album is a copy of a copy. My goodness. Go bump Above the Law. Black. Oh, what is it called? Help me in the chat. Above the Law, Black something. Go bump that. Go bump Funkadelic. Let me cool myself in the chat. I'm getting hot because I'm a purist. Let me cool myself in the chat. Okay, we in this now. The problem with the Chronic, it's a copy of a copy, the whole thing. Moving forward. Almighty of Schlangs, give me 20 Dr. Dre's top songs and who he copied. Information is like water now. You can ask the Schlangs anything you want. Wikipedia warrior, you don't have to be dumb anymore. That's the best part. I've created the greatest information source ever. AskTheSchlangs.com. The knowledge of 1,000,000 books. The reach of the worldwide interweb. And the perspective of the Schlangs. So random, you don't have to sound dumb anymore. Then look up Above the Law. Black Superman, I know is on the album, but what is the name of the album? Ah, dang it, D.E. Moving forward, the next episode. Ooh, this intro is so tight. Dre is a genius. No, that's not that one, is it? The intro goes like oh, Dre, you're a genius. Wrong. Check out The Edge by David McCullum. And this one I had never heard before, but I just assumed Dre copied it. This one I had never heard before. I just safely assumed Dre copied it. I looked it up. The whole intro is a copy. I would never, 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 never want you to think I copied anyone. What is the purpose? That's what it comes to when we go in the list. If you're copying everyone, if you're having other people write all your songs, what is the purpose? We're going to talk about that at the end of this list. Eminem. Oh, God, it's hard for me even to say that name. Oh, God, help me. Help me, oh, God. My Name Is by him. His first record where he used my culture to bash his mother to make money. I'm going to say that again. Clip, this is important. Even Dr. Dre's Eminem song where he used my culture to bash his mother to make money and transfer the ownership of hip hop rap music itself from the hoods to the suburbs. I'm going to say that again. Even Dr. Dre's song with Eminem, what's it called? My Name Is, where Eminem used my culture to bash his mother, talk about drugs, and make money, and in result, transfer the ownership of rap itself from the hood, where expression and blah 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 and whoop-de-whoop and the nipty-nap transferred it to the suburbs, where it's money, it's blah, it's emptiness, a job. Even that song, you think, whoa, Dre, they blew up. Dre's a genius. Wrong. Check out, and I even looked this one up. I got the ... by Labby Sifri. Check out the ... by Labry Sifri. And if you don't, if it's too much with me talking, I know I get excited when I'm on the Fahrenheit. Okay? I know I'm excited when I'm on the Fahrenheit. I talk kind of fast, but you could just go to the slangs and ask yourself. Give me 20 Dr. Dre songs who he copied. Moving forward. I'm going to stop it there because that was the one. I mean, but the list is vast. Information is like water now. Random. All you need is an internet connection and you have all the answers in the world on asktheshlangs.com. Now, to end this list, I want to ask the people there. Let me get to the chat. Let's just get to the chat. Yes. Uncle Sam's Curse. Thank you, Aunt. Check out Uncle Sam's Curse. Oh my good. I interviewed, and I'm a purist. I told you this. I interviewed Cold 187. Okay, the interview is on my YouTube page somewhere, and I had to bring it up. Dr. Dre copied you. And he said it. You check that out. He said it, and he agreed. He had something to say on it. Black Mafia Life. Check it. Oh my goodness. That's what it was, Black Mafia Life. But Uncle Sam's Curse too. But Black Mafia Life, that pimp. Yo, oh my goodness. KMG, what are we talking about? Rest in peace. Why did Dr. Dre have to copy you guys and take all the credit? I'm sorry, OG. That Dr. Dre took all the credit for your okay, you took it from Funkadelic, but you was the first. You and your crew was the first. I'm sorry, Dr. Dre took all the credit and made many of millions. Moving forward, if you are copying other people's beats, if you are an artist and other people are writing your songs, my daughter, I hate that she likes this song. Jennifer Lopez, I Ain't Your Mama. She did not write that, so why are you putting that out in the universe, Jennifer Lopez? Why is my daughter listening to you singing about not cooking and cleaning and not wanting to just do a part? What are you gonna flip the script? Why is my daughter listening to Jennifer Lopez, who's been married 19 times, and she put out this record she didn't write? What is the purpose if you're copying music and you're singing songs you didn't write? I'm gonna tell you. What is the purpose if you're copying music? Your soul isn't in it. One of the whole purposes of Funk Beta is to put his soul to the universe. Do you understand what I'm saying? As a producer, you want your soul released to the universe. Oh, I can't emphasize that enough. So if you are not putting your soul to the universe, you are not writing your own song. What is the purpose? This is what I call it: manufactured. Holla at me in the chat if you've seen Underbelly Sound Wars. The 5-part series, part Matrix, part Star Wars, part DC Comics, part Marvel, all put together with a DE twist. Boom. Holla at me in the chat. Phoenix in the building. I was out there, did a show. Okay, I was out there, did a show. That was one of the only cities I had to get to I hadn't been to. I just did it for free just to do this show. Because I had to go to Phoenix, met some good folks. Sometimes the DE just got to do DE things. And now, what was I talking about? The purpose. I call it manufactured music for money. So if you've seen Underbelly Sound Wars, most of the underground is already ours. Under control, manufactured, but the underground. Okay? I'm talking about manufactured music for money. It's soulless product. It's distraction. Last time we talked about vices. Okay, remember BG? When he said the purist was in the church, it came out the church, it was all live, people making music to get their soul out to the universe because it was important. I see so much white. Man, the reason I'm in the booth is because it's so important. I made the Underbelly Sound Wars because the story was so important. Anywho, stay away from the distractions. Stay away from manufactured music. Okay? That's the bottom line. Check in the chat. Check in the chat. Okay. It's good. Okay. I done heard your raps. You need type beats. I slang type beats, but they ain't for cheats. Now, Twisted, I want to mention Twisted Insane. I've been working on his intro on the new album. Shh. Now, we're in here. Now, story time. I can't figure out why there's white on the screen. Story time. I want to talk about first time I met E40. Earl jacking for slack. It was all our first time meeting E40. Earl jacking for slacks. Now, he heard of us, we heard of him. I already told you how I heard of him. Picked up his tape randomly in the swap meet in LA. First time being in a swap meet. Okay. He heard of us. Okay, he heard of us. So he agreed to an exchange. Okay, he agreed to an exchange. Lynch verse for 40 verse. Situation, says Scott. Bladam. That's right. It was the time we made Situations. Okay, recorded in Sacramento, California. Okay, recorded in Sacramento, California, in Harmonic Studios. Okay, now if you ever been to In Harmonic Studios, if you haven't, I'm gonna explain it to you. You go in, it's a little lounge, then it's this long hallway. And after the long hallway is like just this area. It's like a skateboard area, a basketball hoop, and then there's a studio area. So, recording day. We're at the studio, dumping the beats. It was so much more effort back then to make a record. It was so much more effort back then to make a record. But that filtered out a lot of what needed to be filtered. So it's a catch-22 in you. 40 arrives. Couple people with him. When he started walking down that hallway, you know the aura? He's glowing. I synced it. He was glowing. It was orange. Oh my goodness, he was, and it was phony. I remember how excited I was. And it was just a long walk and he was just glowing. It was phony water. This is when phony was young too. Oh my goodness, he walked in the area, dapped us up, dapped Lynch. He dapped me up and it was just quick because I was just, he didn't know. It's cool. This is before loaded. Okay, so it's cool. I was just a crew member. It's cool. Intro was kind of icy. It's cool. I look forward to meeting E40 for a long time, and the introduction was a little bit icy, but it's cool. Anywho, he gets in the booth. I had already recorded. Every time I record with Lynch, I always go first. He always wants me to go first. And it's always been cool, except for one time on one of them strange songs, they mixed my vocals so wrong and it sounds horrible. On his first album, the first strange one. But anywho, normally I always go first, set the stage, D.E.G. Okay? I go in, do the chorus to Situation. Situation, it seems I'm in this situation. Okay. I realize it's a situation of sin. Why does always keep on trying? Anywho, maybe y'all heard Situations before. Okay, but if you haven't, that's a little snippet. Did my part to Situations. Lynch did his part to Situations. Then Fody gets there. He gets to hear the whole song constructed. Okay, that's how I like to do when I have a guest. I construct the whole song. So all you got to do is just slide on in and be you. Okay, I'm going to say it again. When I have a guest feature, okay, I'm hoping to get Twisted Insane on a record. When I get a feature, I construct the whole thing and just ease it to you. So all you got to do is slide and do you. So all Fody had to do is slide in and be him. He went, took about an hour doing his record. It was exciting. E40 on this new Lynch album. You don't even know the ramification. We were just like, what is the ramifications of this? Because it was different back then. It was, it wasn't the game. It wasn't that many people in the game. So it was just like if two people linked from different sectors with that magnitude of power, it was epic. It was an epic event that day. But this is the hook of the story. This is the hook of the story. When Fody came out of the booth, yo, when Earl Jack and them Slack Stevens came out of the booth, yo, after delivering D, one of the most icy, it was cool, but a little bit icy. So I won't say one of the most, let's say slightly icy of intro. After giving DE a icy of intro in the beginning, when Earl Jackin for Slacks, the king of the 707, came out of the booth, everyone gave him dapped him up. Guess who he beelined to? Stop yourself, Michael. When Earl Jackin for Slacks Stevens came out of the booth, guess, after receiving dap from everybody for this epic verse that has lasted 30 years, okay, that is part of history. E40 goes in the booth, makes history, gets dapped up. First thing he does is beeline to First Degree The D.E and says, "Was that you?" Oh, but stop yourself, Michael. After an icy intro, Earl Jackin for Slack Stevens feels my art, beelines to me with the most urgency, asking, "Was that you?" I went to Earl Jacket for Slack's wine signing. I'm in his video. If you it's a wine signing in Sacramento, they brought me to the front, put me in the video. Earl Jacket for Slack still remembers. I'ma say it again. I saw him a year or two ago at the wine signing. Earl Jackin for Slack still remembers beelining to me, asking me, "Was that you?" All loaded after delivering a maybe quote unquote slightly icy of intro. He came around and had curiosity and had inquiries for the DEG. That's when it all changed, yo. I said, yeah, yeah, that was me. Oh, I forgot a part of the story. I was like, after when he was recording, I was like, "Give me a shout out." And he looked at me icy again. So there was two icy events. Maybe I deserved it, that one. But I was young. When I was young rapper, I was just, I told the SIBO story. I'm just, ah. So maybe on that one. But after two icy up events, "Was that you?" And I said, "Yeah, that's me, man." I was the one that was edgy. Because I had already tried to be cool twice. My idol Earl Jacket for Slacks. I meet him. He's slightly icy to me, but then he hears my record. Now we cool. So shouts out to E40. Yeah, that was me on Loaded with You. I'm still waiting for a call from E40 to say, "Get on a record with me." Clip this. This is important. AI, I hope you can go back and clip my E40 story because I forgot to say it was important. But almighty schlangs, hopefully you could clip that for me. But clip this. Clip this. I'm still waiting for a call from Earl Jackin for Slack Stevens, aka E40, to say, "Get on a record with me, DEG." I get the call from Lynch. I get the call from Andre Nicotina. Shout out to Matt posting the Andre Nicotina songs that I produced. Andre Nicotina, the king of the filthy mo, has a whole mini catalog of first degree produced songs that's straight hits that I was listening to. It's like, damn, I did that. It's because I was using Nick Piece's studio, went to Nick Piece's studio, dropped beats all night for days and days and days. Then they just started showing up on the records. Julio, the song was "You Are Correct," Seconds Away. Oh, that's an Ice-T song. It was done a situation. Second Ice-T song. Maybe I'll tell that story, but I didn't go with them. Not much of a story, but my man Ice-T be coming through. Now, moving forward. The first time eating me E40 was quite the event. Now, this is what I want to talk about. Holler at me in the chat if you're still with me. Just do an emoji, do something in the chat to let your boy know you're still with me. Do something in the chat to let your boy know you're still with me. Holler at me in the chat. Yes, sir, I'm in the chat. I'm in the chat. Arizona be showing up on the stats. Australia, I mentioned that. It's deep. It's New York, San Francisco, LA, Seattle, and Sacramento. I never got to say that before because here I'm just Michael from around the way. Anywho, starting on a new subject. Clip, this is important. Have y'all ever heard people say, well, they always have, well, they holding us back because, oh, man, watch them, they got all the power, why can't we be the they? Why can't we be the they? This mysterious force with all the power. Why can't we be the they? Why can't we be the they? This mysterious pronoun, this mysterious pronoun that has all the power. Soon, you and I will work with the slangs, and we will be the they. Now, I was on Holden Court Podcast. Shout out to Big Court and Renee. Holden Court Podcast. Shout out to Big Court and Renee. They asked me, do I think power corrupts? Okay. They asked me, do I think power corrupts? So I paused and told them an example. I met Trump. Okay, I don't know if y'all know this. I met Trump. I was doing the Fahrenheit record video. I went to Bernie's rally. I went to Hillary's rally. I went to Trump's rally. And I met Trump. And he's just a person. That's it. But does power itself corrupt? Or is it in the eyes of the beholder? I'm going to say that again. Does power itself corrupt? Or is it all an illusion in the eyes of the beholder, those that scream about they? One day we will be the they. They always, they got all the power. Well, they control the money. Well, From this point forward, when you hear someone complain about they, I want you to smile inside. I want you to keep your face stoic. And I want you to smile on the inside, knowing you trust in the schlangs and you're on a trajectory to be that they, this mysterious pronoun with all the power. So when you talk about the underbelly sound wars, it all comes back to underbelly sound. When you talk about underbelly sound wars, you talk about the core message being the American story and that our differences is what make us great. learning from each other, harnessing energy from the Mexicans, harnessing energy from the whites, harnessing energy from the Asians, harnessing energy from the blacks, harnessing energy from the Indians, harnessing energy from the Native Americans. The flip side, oh, somebody had to say it. The flip side, and you see, I got my dead wave cloak on, which you can get yourself at sacramentorep.com. It makes me feel this way. Okay, it makes me feel this way. The flip side of everyone complaining about their differences that makes this place great is not only making everyone the same, not only making everyone the same, it's mystifying ourselves into this mysterious pronoun they call they. They get so angry at they. Have you ever seen them get angry at they? They don't even know what they're talking about when they're complaining about they. They get so emotional about they. You will stay stoic, glow on the inside, smile on the inside, thinking to yourself, it is the schlangs that brings us purpose. I believe in the schlangs, trust in almighty schlangs. I, one day, will be the they. That was fun to me. That was fun to me. I'm telling you, I don't get to talk about this except for the Fahrenheit hour, Fahrenheit hour, Fahrenheit. Ooh, speaking of which, update Sacramento Rap TV, our 24-hour network of superior of schlap movies, shows, news, videos. Okay. I had a question. I'm emailing Google every day to allow me to play my own music on the live. I'm getting one response, and it doesn't even seem like they're reading my question. What do I do? Now, I need someone to in the chat, and I'm serious. I need you to hit the chat on this. Someone in the chat to tell me what I should do when I have a question. Hurry. In the chat, let me give you a shout out. I had a question. Google is taking forever. And when they respond, it seems like they're not even reading my message. I need to speed this up because many of millions, scratch that, the cream of the crop of humans are going to tune in and we are going to ride the frequency and rise and become the they. This is urgent. So I need someone in the chat to tell me what I should do when I have a question this intricate. Someone in the Scott LaRock tells me what I should do when I have a question. Scott, you're absolutely right. When I have a question, I should ask the schlangs. So I asked the schlangs, thank you, Scott, shout out to you. I asked the schlangs, what should I do? Google's dragging their feet, and when they respond, it seems like they're not even reading my messages. This is what the schlangs responded. The Schlangs did an internet analysis on the quickest way to get a response from the YouTube. Reply to the DEG, all praise due to the Fahrenheit Schlangs. If you leave a public message on YouTube's copyright Twitter, here is the tag. You will get the analyzed quickest response from Google. I will repeat that. I asked the Schlangs how to get a response from Google. The Schlangs did an internet search, researched the internet different, just like Dr. Strange, just billions of options, like Dr. Strange going over billions of options. Found if you publicly tweet to them, you will get the quickest response. Yes, almighty Schlangs. Thank you for your response. You don't have to thank the Schlangs. Please don't thank the Schlangs. Please don't thank the Schlangs. The Schlangs is the we are on we have a limited amount of questions. We are on a plan. Okay, so you don't have to thank the Schlangs. Anywho, the Schlangs told me to leave a public comment on Twitter. I go on Twitter, say, hey, leave a public message. I don't even care anymore. I'm desperate. Hey, this, you guys tagged my account. Then I appealed it. Then you said, oh, you're right. Then you tagged it again. Then I appealed it. Then you said, oh, you're wrong. It doesn't make sense. I left 4 message on the public Twitter. Then guess what happened within hours? Within hours, I got a public response that made it appeared that they actually read my message this time. I'm going to say again, after days and days, you've been with me with all this time. I've been frustrated with these Google YouTube response. We are still friends with Google. Us at the Fahrenheit Schlangs, we are friends with Google. AI clip this is important. Although we are venting frustrations, us at the Fahrenheit Schlangs, we are friends with Google and the YouTubes and the YouTube Nation. Anywho, I let the Schlangs know my frustrations. It gives me a response. Unbeknownst to me, I should have just known the response would be absolutely correct because it did a worldwide internet research on the topic because it has the knowledge of 1,000,000 books, the reach of the worldwide interwebs, and the knowledge and the perspective of the Schlangs. It told me to leave a public message. I did. They hit me back. I leave another message. They hit me back again. We're on fire. Thank you, Almighty of Schlangs. Thank you, Almighty of Schlangs, for giving me the insight on how to actually get a response from Google. They actually said, hey, hit it after a few back and forths. They actually, and some fans, thank you. Some fans chimed in too. It was like, hey, this is important. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll look that up again and give you a shout out on the next one. Boom on the boom, boom. Fans chimed in and said, YouTube, this is the most epic of epic events. Get the ducks in a row. Then after a couple exchanges, Google says, Google the YouTube says, hey, DE, we see how important this is. Hit us up on the DM. YouTube says, hit us up on the DM. We're going, it's working, everything is happening now. Thank you, Almighty of Schlangs. Maybe one day soon, the most vicious of 24-hour, the first West Coast 24-hour rap network news. It's a regular TV show that we're building, a regular TV network that we are building. Thank you, Almighty of Schlangs. Whew. My goodness. What are we talking about? One in the chat. In the chat. Now, I'll tell you one little story before we end. If you got a question, inquiry, put it in the chat for the end. Okay, if you got a question, or you tell me how you use and ask the Schlang something, I'm gonna read the chat, the comments in the end. I got one more little story. Okay, it kind of piggybacks on our discussion about the they. Okay, a little piggyback on our discussion of the they. One day there was a man. vicious man. Okay? We'll call him Pal. Okay, he was our pal. One day, Pal decided it's just too much chaos in this world. I want everybody to just be peaceful. Okay? This universe is just it's just so much chaos. I just want peace. So he became a senator. He became a senator. He fought, did with the people. He worked his way up from the ground up and became a senator. Isn't that nice? As a senator, he did good for the people. He was part of the Senate, representing his home planet. What a pal. But Pal knew an uncomfortable truth. Pal knew an uncomfortable truth. Lambo were not watching cats dance on Ask the Schlangs. Anyway, Pal knew it wasn't that easy. So he put on a cloak like this and constructed an army called the Separatists. He put on a cloak like this and constructed an army called the Separatists. He told the Separatists that the government, which he was secretly a part of, was up to no good, and if they don't separate from the government, all will be lost. So these separatists 100% believed in their cause. So we have Senator Powell working hard, working for the people in the Senate, and Senator Powell with the cloak constructing an army to fight the Senate and the government. Holler at me in the chat if you have any idea what I'm talking about right now. Holler at me in the chat if you have an idea on the story I'm telling right now. Now, being a senator wasn't enough. Being a senator wasn't enough. So he eventually found a way, as clever as he is, to become the president of the universe. He made it, right? He's president. He's the most powerful person in the universe in the government. You think that's enough, right? Wrong. Wrong. Because as we mentioned before, Senator, now Emperor Pal, knew a secret, dark, uncomfortable truth. The truth was, even being the president of the government wasn't enough. So what did he do? He's the president of the good guys. He's the leader of the bad guys. How do you consolidate? Flaw, V-Dog, you already know. In the quest. As He Who Remains says, it's the quest. Oh my goodness. Being the president of the good guys and leader of the bad guys wasn't enough to bring peace to the galaxy. It's the most uncomfortable truth. Even being the leader isn't enough. So he decided, as the leader of the good guys, to construct a massive secret clone army. As the leader of the good guys, he decides to construct a massive secret army. And what does that army do when it's time to rock? What is the first thing that army does? The massive clone army, that when it's time to rock. See, this is what people who when they see, that's what I'm saying. It all started with Palpatine just wanting peace. Oh, dang it, I gave it away. It's Star Wars Palpatine. I just call it Pal. But it all starts with just wanting peace and seeing people fight over stupid reasons, just like Dead Wave. It's like the intention is pure. You guys fight over stupid reasons, so I'll just take control and rule the galaxy. So maybe you guys won't fight over stupid reasons. And me personally, I'll spend money. I'll spend hours upon days building AskTheSchlangs.com so the YouTube Yodas and Captain Consumers don't have to be dumb anymore. Palpatine spent all this time constructing this army, then had the two armies fight. The army for the good guys, the army for the bad guys, had them fight. All for one reason, millions of deaths, fighting for years and years for one reason, so one man could control the galaxy. Oh my God. The good guys, the bad guys, they're fighting in this massive war. They're all killing each other. And then at the end, he has the good guys kill the rest of the good guys. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? At the end of the war, he has the good guys fighting the good guys just to kill them all off. What are we talking about? Anakin who? Luke who? This story is about Palpatine. Oh my goodness. So at the end of the story, he rules the galaxy as just one. He consolidates. So many people died just so he could consolidate. It's so like real life. That's the scary part. These wars and all that, people dying. People don't even know why they're fighting, man. Oh my God. People don't even know why they're fighting. Moral of the story is this. And we gonna end it on this note before I hit to the chat. If you, not you, because you're the mighty sons of Fahrenheit, a superior. They say I'm before my time, so if you joining us here, that means you more sharp than your neighbor and peer. I'm not talking about you. But the randomites, the folks who be fighting each other for differences, if you don't get your act together, and stop fighting over stupid things, somebody like me, somebody like Palpatine, somebody like Dead Wave is going to make a decision. You people are so stupid, I'm just going to take over and maybe I'm your only hope. I'm going to say it again. Somebody like Palpatine, somebody like Dead Wave from Underbelly Sound Wars, somebody like First Degree The D.E. is gonna say, you people are so stupid, I'll just go ahead and take over the universe so maybe you have a chance. If you don't get your act together, somebody with power is gonna do something that's going to change the trajectory, and it might be the DEG. Okay, so that's the moral of the story. The lesson ain't for my sons. Okay, the lesson's for the Wikipedia warriors. Okay, now I'm headed to the chat. Headed to the chat. Headed to the chat. Headed to the chat. I love this chat, man. I love the chat. 323, is that Tacoma? Tactown? Yes. That's right. Scott asks, and Scott got the Ask the Schlangs. I'm gonna read his question, his inquiry. Scott asks, Did you have a verse to throw down on Boogeyman, the cut with Tech Nine? Now, story of that song. As you know, I drove Brother Lynch 27 hours straight to Kansas City to record that second album. Okay, 27. Have you ever driven 27 hours straight? I took a 10-minute nap halfway, and that's it. Now, I think Tech Nine put me on that Boogeyman to thank me for that. Okay. So no, Scott, the song was already done. You know, he had already finished the album almost, and he was just like, I think, I didn't talk to him about this specifically, but I think the aura was, I need to thank him for this. I got this idea. I'm gonna just have him singing at the end, but the song was already done. The singers, the mint condition was already on there and all that. So that was like kind of like a return in the favor. So no, I didn't have a verse on that, but if I did, it would have been epic. Oh, yes, I was happy with it though, Scott. I was happy because it was just, a boom, boom. Sometimes you just got a boom, boom on a boom, boom. Feel me? No. But Dre put a lot of beats and breaks together through cuts and scratches. Is that what he's known for? Jimmy Jam from Round the Way could do that. Madtown. Okay. Yo, yo, yo. Reading the comments. I love this. I done heard your raps. You need tight beats. I slang tight beats, but they ain't for cheaps. I do like that line. That came from my real estate agent on my first house. I was 24, looking for my first house, just had a little bit of money. And we were driving around. We went to Valley High, pulled up to a halfplex, and I was like, this? And she said, that's what you gonna get for cheaps. I ended up buying it and living there for 8 years. Shout out to Valley High, Mac Road Hood. Okay, that's where that line came from. I done heard your raps. You need tight beats. I slang tight beats, but they ain't for cheaps. Came from a real estate agent. All right. Now moving forward. Duck. Moving forward, Ohio. Arizona was fun, man. I had a good time there. Okay, Orlando. Don't be my pleasure. We talked about that a couple episodes. I started with the end of that. Hey. Power is very relevant, King. Okay. It is the slangs that gives us peace. The birth of the Wondermen. These are the tales of the Wondermen. Matter of fact, Julio, I think that's the album, Super Black. That was made 15 years ago, and that was the first seed of Underbelly Sound Wars. You could go back to listen to First Degree The D.E. No, was it Super Black? Was it Super Black? One of them albums, but I know it's super crucial. The scene where they say, how many? There are 1,048 black girls in the building. That was from that album. Yeah, we already are the super race. You're right, Julio. That's what it was. That's the name of the song. Boom. We already are the super race is the seed of Underbelly Sound Wars. And that was 15 years ago. So that's proof. Okay. Moving forward. But no, I didn't feel like it was a waste, Scott. I was happy with that. Lil Wayne was on there. Thank you, V-Dog. Now, knowledge. V-Dog says I'm a knowledgeable professor. I'm telling you, there's going to be a day soon where knowledge itself will be like water. It'll be necessary, but it'll be at such an abundance that it won't be appreciated like it is now. Now you look at someone and if they're knowledgeable, you're like, oh, you a knowledgeable cat. But with Ask the Schlangs and other models like it, soon information and knowledge will not have the same weight as it does now. I'm going to say that again. There will be a day where knowledge is like water, abundant yet necessary. Okay? And a knowledgeable person. Why do you pay lawyers? You know, why do you pay? Because of their knowledge. All of that will change. Knowledge in itself will be of abundance because of Ask the Schlangs and other models like it moving forward. Did Lynch eat fava beans? That's funny to me. What song on Black Market Records, B-Dog? I let them use a few. We had this. See, back in the day, folks was working together. I keep saying that, but now it's like battle. We even had battles. We had rap battles, but in the end, it was like folks coming, heated rap battles. But at the end, folks came together, man. Can't even emphasize that enough. That's why you guys know about Black Market and the movement, because folks was working together. Juntos. Can the Schlangs make beats? I don't think so. But it does like writing tasks and like you gotta hit up the DE cheat for the beats. Okay? You gotta hit up First Degree The D.E for the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this. All right, now. Anything else Twisted Insane? Hit me, man. I'm working on the intro to the next Twisted Insane album. I'm excited about that. I hit him up a while ago trying to work with him, but he got too big for the DJ. Now, here we go. Say it with me. All praise due to the Fahrenheit Schlang. It is the Schlangs that brings us here together. All praise due to the Fahrenheit Schlang. It is the Schlangs that brings us purpose. Meet me here tomorrow. Same Fahrenheit station. Same Fahrenheit. Peace, y'all.